Hello everybody, welcome back one more time to VRML Echo Arena here in week 4 with another stream here on channel 1. So on the casting desk, I'm Palidore and joined by NightFiree for another cast here with Synapse facing off against Redshift. So NightFiree, we just came off that last match here with Synapse against Instinct. It was a hot one going through the 3 rounds, but ultimately the win going the way of Instinct. Synapse looking for that comeback opportunity here to close out the night.
It was so close, you know, a really great battle out of Synapse. Definitely they are, I think you could assume they're warmed up by now. So they're going to come out of the gate. I would expect this first round aggressive, and if they don't, then I think it's kind of a missed opportunity, right? You just got some really good rounds in. You're loose, you're physically warmed up and ready to hop into a match. I think it's good to take it to a team that maybe doesn't have that advantage. You know, Redshift didn't just get done playing in a match. At the same time, you could look at that and say, well, maybe that's a disadvantage. Maybe Synapse is going to be a little tired coming into this match against Redshift. Maybe they're not going to be able to give it their all, and we're about to find out.
Yeah, so the joust lining up here for both teams. Now Synapse rolling in here with Rosie Hope on the roster now, coming in and trying to get a win for Synapse against this team here in Redshift, who are indeed very, very strong at many things, but at offense especially. They've got some heavy hitters on this team.
Have to keep an eye out on the stuns, on the battles already. A bit of aggression here, the one-on-one. A nice denial from .com prevents that goal from going in. Good clear, but great follow-up out of Redshift. They're quickly onto that disc, and it's back into the zone of Synapse.
Yeah, and just past the reach of Zux there, as Chrome will get stunned out. So instead, Supreme Bun's recovering a soft tap back out here and going up to the upper. Actually, I take it back, almost juking me out. Now the upper trench there, but actually too strong on the pass. Will be recovered nonetheless by Jiggy. And Jiggy, well, he's going to get stunned out, but another recovery, and there's the goal for Zux.
Jiggy tried to juke there and got stunned up, but that investment they made in stunning him opened up the backside for Zux, and a good bit of recognition there on the pass. Nice follow-up from Zux, and that's a good way to start off the rounds against a team that, like we said, is already warmed up. And now it is going to be Synapse's chance at offense. You can see the aggression there is successful with the intercept and cleared downrange. The stack here quickly on to disc. Shot on goal does seem to be directed in by .com, but it goes to Chrome.
Yeah, it's tough. It looks like, yeah, got the catch, but still going to result in the shot. So 4 points. Hot start here for Redshift. Like I said, some heavy hitters indeed on their team, and just causing some interference there in the tunnel with that defense on that last launch. So let's see if Synapse can avoid that this time here as they roll out.
The stack accuracy of Redshift is definitely impressive. They are quick onto that disc as a stack. They're able I even saw a little bit of a curve there on that stack as they were pushing up to disc. So an impressive bit of teamwork there to get them to where they need to be. But now Synapse going to set up with their passing. They've done a great job of passing the disc around against Instinct. We'll see if they can do it here. They're in to the zone of Redshift, and here comes a shot on goal. A nice denial here. The clear not quite out of range yet, though. Synapse still vying for disc. Another attempted pass goes awry. We'll see if Redshift can punish that. They do get the clear.
Yeah, so some very, very pungent defense being played here by the Orange crew. Getting the clear, a light boost, maybe an overshoot though, so indeed it will be as a reset now to .com, stable here in the background, and looking for that very deep frisbee toss over to Andy on the other side.
Now, are they a three-man offense and .com sits in the back? So I don't think, no, they aren't. They invest 4. .com just always seems to get back there in time and prevent the disc from going in, but
yeah.
Good bit of stack work there. Does get a decent clear into the way of Synapse, but this doesn't work for them. Burning time is not optimal for Synapse. They need to get that disc. They need to get it into the goal of Redshift.
And some brawls being dealt all along the way, so going to be tough, but getting a very tight woven, maybe pass attempt even, will still reach Andy's hands instead on the intercept. So Chrome has it stolen as well by C. Jason. Redshift definitely trying to press the aggression hard, and it's really making this work up the floor difficult now as Synapse needing to cover the goal and just past the hands now will be recovered by Chrome.
Brawling in the Synapse zone, a setup onto goal. Does get shut down temporarily here. The defense scrambling as the ding on the top of the goal prevents that one from sinking in, and a great clear now. Is the stack follow-up here? It is, into the hands of Synapse. The shot coming in, take his time.
Wow.
Zux denies. A nice hands back into Rosie Hope. Rosie sets it up again, and Andy with the anchor shot on the back end gets 2.
That was an amazing save from Zux, though, on the jukes and the anchor. That was ridiculous, the fact that he managed to grab that without it going in. But yeah, Rosie just getting the rebound, right place, recognizing that, hey, it still had Andy right there on the backboard, same place, and didn't need to worry. But that save was actually incredible, honestly, off that anchored backboard.
Such a fast shot coming in there, and to be able to react and grab it, absolutely an impressive bit of work. .com getting aggressive off the goal does prevent that from going into the hands of Redshift, and a bit of center field passing work does work out for Redshift. Synapse here have to get back into defense. The cross and the missed slap just goes above the goal.
Still, though, retained here by good positioning. Zux going for the cross, bit strong on it, but nice dive coming out. Some punches as well. Recovered by a few different players before finally finding a very nice clear. That is a hot one going in to the goal area as it's recovered, though, by, look at that, all 4 players. You talk about that quickness from Redshift. They were there, all 4 of them, with some time to spare.
Synapse just not really feeling like challenging that one, although now they are in zone. They are trying to get their passing work underway. A missed pass, though, does open up a clear attempt. Still stays around Redshift's side. Here, finally now, Synapse going to have to get back onto defense.
And doing just that, trying to get there, but swooping in with a steal. It's Supreme. Oh, the rebound and finding the walk-in on the goal. It's 6 points here for Redshift.
That was a wacky bit of back and forth right there. The bouncing around into the hands of the goalie. A couple of, I would say, blocks there coming in, but ultimately gets sunk in for Redshift. And that's a 4-point lead, so Synapse do need to start getting at least some 2-pointers into that goal of Redshift if they want to start to chip away at what is a comfortable lead now for Redshift. They can play passing game in the midfield all day.
Yeah, definitely. And they're, again, a team who does have a lot of great offensive players here. And if they can slow it down and just find their easy goals, they should be good here for these last few minutes just to, again, keep kind of control. Because right now, control is the name of the game. It just seems like they're finding a lot of it at these opportunities. And then when it does get kind of scrambled in disarray, their speed is also getting there first. That set of shots will bounce right off. But a great stun coming in. Andy, 1-on-1, gets it done. It's a 2-point game.
The fancy handwork there from Andy gets that disc in. You saw a nice bit of juking there to throw off the goalie, and that was almost a 3-pointer. That was an attempted shot on goal. Just hit the barrier there in front. And either way, a great follow-up from Synapse to get that one in. That's exactly what they needed. 3 minutes left, plenty of time now to get themselves a 2 or 3 and start maybe piling up a lead of their own. Doesn't look like Redshift necessarily want that to happen, as they do seem to now go on the offense in Synapse's zone.
And trying to cover off those lanes, sailing past a couple hands, a few, in fact, as they go right through with the attempted clear into the pocket. Will be taken on the top wedge, slapped out of there again. A little bit of those pileups forming. Meanwhile, the stacks trying to form there for Synapse just to pressure out, but again, trying not to get caught as well. So there's the dive, and barely missing that shot. Tough angle, will roll back to the rebounded arms of Jiggy.
See if Jiggy can set up for the shot here. Passes around into the hands of C. Jason. The setup here, this is the wide shot from Zux. I think that was a stun right as he was going in for the goal. Does prevent that from happening, and still Redshift commanding the disc here in Synapse's zone, and it looks like another setup on goal is going to come in here. A good bit of juke work, a good bit of passing, but still defense is preventing the goal from going in, and still time is ticking. So this works for Redshift. They can keep this going, and finally the clear. They get it out of their zone. Redshift was going for goal. Here comes a 4-man stack. The shot goes wide, and now Redshift can set up on defense.
And now collecting the disc off the wall, a really big slingshot basically over to Zux. He'll bounce it off the bottom, take it right back, off the top that is, and going for a ramp shot, but there's the stacks coming in now. 4 different players for Synapse getting back. They need to score soon. And with that clear and with a boost, doesn't matter because Jiggy now in the back line, their stack was well prepared.
2-point lead here for Redshift. They can kick this disc around in the however they want. They can burn time. They can set up for another goal. That doesn't go quite as planned, but shots on goal are still time being burnt here. So this works for Redshift, and the nice intercept, the bad pass, the bad clear does keep it into the hands of Redshift. Brawling around the goal opens it up for C. Jason with the dunk.
Yeah, C. Jason receiving that from Zux. That was a nice alley-oop to get it back. There was some scrambled passing there off of that heavy press defense that comes in from Synapse quite often. But just the trouble really in this round, because the dive defense there in that bubble area has been pretty good for Synapse. It's just not able to really get the clears through quite as often as they would want. It keeps getting into the midst of those Redshift players, and will indeed be, as a result here, maybe one more shot attempt going to go off the bottom of the floor. But yeah, will be that Redshift victory off a very nice delivery eventually to Rosie from Chrome, and getting that last goal to go, but just no time to spare here in round 1.
Keep that score line tight when it goes into the books, and, helps out a little bit.
Yeah.
For the overall win-loss. But, yeah, close back and forth, and now Synapse really have to dig deep. You've just come off of a loss against, in a full series. Now here you've lost this round. It's going to be a matter of how good is the team at coming back? How good can Synapse bounce back from, what is the word? Adversity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just able to, bounce back after that loss earlier against Instinct. Again, great series. I mean, went right down to the last minute of all the rounds. And, yeah, just coming in here now, having to adjust with a slight roster change. I know chat was mentioning that a little bit. And by the way, if you're wondering, stream, why I have this up, because I may have, as I was talking with NightFiree before the game, gotten a little bit distracted. And you might not see anything.
Blame it on me.
Yeah, no, it's all my inability to multitask to a terrible degree is the fault of every co-caster of mine, not mine.
I did keep him busy with discussion. There's a lot to talk about Echo Arena, okay? There's plenty of nuance. Yeah. There's plenty of ins and outs.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it will be a little bit of an uphill battle, but I think ideally for Synapse here, they're going to be able to kind of take on, with that 10 minutes off the books now, it's a score reset. Maybe the chemistry a little bit better now that they've warmed up with Rosie Hope coming in. For Redshift, though, it's going to be, right in their, just realm of reach to keep this same pressure on and keep them right on their toes to take this in a sweep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But Chrome, yeah, he's going to drop it from Andy. Nice delivery on that one.
It's a great setup. It looked like for a minute there, Chrome had a potential shot on goal for a 3. It would have been risky because the stack got back pretty quick, and I think they would have intercepted. But he patiently waited for that pass setup to occur, and the defense pushed out. I don't even know if they knew there was a person behind them there to score that goal.
Yeah, and just always kind of the push and pull and the balance, that decision making at the high level, especially you have to, every single decision is basically made within just a split second. That one going off in a split second, slapped out in a split second. And now if one of these teams can get the disc, maybe they can take a little more than a second just to reset. And there we go. Now spreading the floor, you can see here for the blue team over here on Synapse. Getting stunned out, however, but still good positioning there. YouTube, look at that snare from Supreme. That was nice.
Excellent intercept there to prevent what was looking like some good Synapse momentum. We've seen them when they're allowed to set up their passing, the plays they want. They're great at executing them. Defense has been looking strong too, but they've been doing a lot of it. And now with this 2-point lead, I do think that they can continue to tack on. Their stack speed has been looking good. Their accuracy has been solid. They have hand in disc, a great swing around what I like to call the twitch
Hold on.
There.
Swing around the Rosie. Had to do it. That was great. Oh, the speed. and the wherewithal on that whole collection night. So there you go. Like I said, already, just what, 2 minutes into the second round, they're almost at their scoring total for the first.
Oh, the intercept here, and an easy 3-pointer for Synapse. That is how you stack on a lead. That is how you get momentum into your side after a round loss.
And now they've exceeded their scoring total 2.5 minutes in to round 2. So just like that, there's Synapse coming back.
Wow, that intercept stuck the hands up, and the disc ends up going right into him. Excellent job there. Almost snags the disc off of that pass, and Synapse aggression here inside the zone of Redshift, and now that may bite them in the butt as there's an open net. Supreme upside down scores that one for 3. Redshift on the board.
Oh, that was slick. That was slick. Oh my goodness. Look at that replay. The spin shot fading away. Oh, Supreme that was. That is
a thin margin to score your goal. That is a very accurate shot.
Oh, that was ridiculous. That was seriously, that would make a season highlight reel for sure. That was a great shot from Supreme. As a pass goes out to Rosie. Rosie looking down low, and now Synapse here looking for the slow plays. They back it out to .com.
Taking their time on the setup. They want to get into position. A missed pass, almost a shot on the goal there. Does get denied and cleared. .com here to keep that inside Redshift zone. Jiggy doesn't want that to happen and puts it down range. We'll see if the stack is here, if that's close to goal. It does get scooped up by Synapse. Not quite cleared, as Redshift do keep their hands on disc and try and potentially set up for another attempt on goal here, as they do go in for it. Supreme with the cross from Zux.
And right back to a 2-point match, so it was looking like maybe even a shutout here. Synapse coming in strong in 2.5 minutes, scoring that 7 points to exceed their round 1 total. But look at that. It is now Redshift back into control and back into, feeling that good groove. They could take control here, definitely, if they force one more turnover.
The blitz there on disc doesn't quite succeed, and Synapse now trying to slow things up. I think if Synapse had come out aggressive on this one, they would have had an opportunity with a limited defense, but now they are going to have to go up the full force of Redshift's 4-man squad. The center from Rosie Hope, and Chrome sinks one in, piling on to the lead of Synapse.
Great hit there. Just recognizing the cutter, and that's bread and butter, as we always say. The fundamental cross pass. We call it that, cross pass because it's the side of the fact that, well, it is cross. The main thing is you're making the goalie's head, you're making the defense's heads just cross back and forth, cross over, basically. And when you can keep the defense looking every which direction, it makes it a lot more difficult to save and stop those goals from going in. So that's why those cross pass plays, so fundamental, so important.
Nice intercept from Supreme. Does allow for this setup to come in here. Passing work and shot on goal. Again, the cross. They're listening here and on the cast, clearly, as Jiggy sinks in a tip.
They don't need to listen to me. These guys know. They know, if nothing else. I'm just repeating what I see, because these two teams, this is what they do at this level of play. They know how to execute so well.
Really good bit of answering back here, not allowing Synapse to relax in the slightest. Synapse continually having to apply the pressure and keep their lead growing, but they are doing that. They do keep putting shots back onto the board and answer for Redshift, and it's about time Redshift try and answer back as the stack gets right up onto .com. That's an open net.
And almost going in. That would have hurt very badly, because that would have been a 1-point advantage. As this clock winds down. A good clear from Chrome. Now there's a light boosted, never mind, much more strongly boosted players coming through. An immediate shot. And the immediate decision making we talked about when it comes to those plays. I mean, you can see they had no time before that goalie was going to be back, so it was just a very quick snap decision, just like this one. Immediate on the fling, and it rings true for the 3-point play. They're up by 1 on Redshift.
Wow, that is a heck of a bounce shot from C. Jason. That's exactly what you don't want out of Synapse, and that's that 3-point threat. Now Synapse got time. 3 minutes is plenty of time for either one of these teams to answer back. We've seen points consistently being traded, so I don't anticipate a big delay in the next goal scored. But if it's not in Synapse's favor, it could be a potential 3-point lead, but a Synapse doesn't seem to want that to happen. The setup here inside the zone of Redshift.
And trying to deny with those stacks coming in, still gets the pass, and Andy finds Rosie at the end of the backboard, and they go back up by 1 as a result.
That's all they needed. A little 2-pointer. It doesn't really do a whole lot for the overall confidence. You still have 2.5 minutes, and you really got to keep on your game here because Redshift is not letting up. They have that first game lead, too, so Synapse have to secure this round if they want to take it to a best-of-3. Definitely don't want to have 2 losses in one day in the books, so Synapse certainly feeling the pressure here.
Yeah, and Redshift is a team, as mentioned, they will just keep that pressure, but a little bit too much pressure on that shot. So, yeah, this is right down to the wire, and needs to get rid of it. Does, but any point here, especially with these stacks, very nice. If that 3 goes in, that could be huge. Still a rebound and some stuns coming out. So instead, another scramble for the disc.
We see those open 3s get sunk by some very skilled players, but again, it is not easy to do. When you're in a rush, when you feel the pressure of that stack on your back. Oh, the bounce pass. I don't even know if that needed the assist. I think that was projected to go in.
Maybe. It was hard to say from my angle, but, they got the points. And
yeah,
especially on a lot of those kind of plays, unless you get call-outs, I know, you just make sure you guarantee the goal. That was always kind of the big rule. And that, if I snag a 3-pointer out of there that my teammate didn't call, we can't yell at the teammate for doing it. But, of course, that one, yeah, a very unusual bounce based off the 2 goalies diving and just kind of leaving the goal open there.
Right, yeah. Doesn't happen often. Better to more practical to secure the 2 in reality. And a good bit of passing work up to the center here for Chrome. An open net. The shot on goal just misses.
Oh, but that grab will not. Now the shot may be coming in. Andy spinning. Oh, but getting the disc back. That was a great grab. And now Jiggy and Zucks over at the bottom. So still in this and trying to stay alive and maybe take a sweep if they can. But Synapse definitely trying their hardest to deny that.
I think Zucks might have knocked the disc out of the hand with his helmet there off the re-grab. Either way, 23 seconds now are all that Redshift has to work with, and it's all that Synapse have to prevent Redshift from scoring within. So it's a little bit of time left. 13 seconds ticking away. Zucks gets it into the zone of Synapse. The stack is here, but so is .com. He grabs it into his hands. Rosie Hope with the defensive clear.
Woo.
And that is going to be it for round 2. We're going to a best-of-3.
Yet again. Story of the last 2 weeks. I'm sure Synapse very, very relieved for that because, man, Redshift did not let up, despite, again, the fact that Synapse went up 7-0 to begin the second round. Redshift just kept the pedal to the metal, and they really made a case for almost coming back to win that round. So definitely big strength being shown from Redshift, but props to Synapse who are definitely just wrangling it in and managing to come away with that win.
A bit of breathing time for both squads. They can gather themselves and prepare for the next round. But you got to think right now, if you're Synapse, this is 6 rounds that you've had to play, over the course of about an hour. And so it's going to be definitely a bit of a testament to your overall stamina. How long can you play for? And I like to think that most of these guys practice for hours on end. So I'm sure they're used to playing Echo for at least more than an hour. But it's still a factor that does have to be considered. And I wonder if Redshift, being as fresh as they are for this 3-round series, will be able to leverage that.
Yeah, well, actually, that kind of segues into something I was told yesterday. And Twitch chat, you can verify how true or false it is, but I was informed by Strembitsky. I did get briefly into a private match last night, believe it or not. But I was informed, these days, apparently, micro scrims are a thing. People going for those 1-hour scrim blocks most of the time now. And I was telling Strem, what happened to the days of old when we used to do 3 and 4 hour scrim blocks? What happened? 1 hours, please.
Yeah, interesting. So maybe stamina will be a factor for Synapse. The shot on goal for Redshift. 2. Make it 3. Can they make it in on the third? The can't gets denied there with another missed attempt, and still into the hands of Redshift. See Jason gonna try and get this one set up. Doesn't get the cross he's looking for. The clear finally comes out from Synapse, and that was a good bit of battling it out around the goal for both squads.
Yes, someone almost putting a cork on that goal. It feels like some very narrow misses. Diving off that barrier there into the offense's hands. I don't know why I said that like a Bostonian, but Rosie Hope here has a look at Andy up high, but will not get the delivery. Instead, there's a clear and attempted boost softly. .com going for a very clever boost, but Andy even faster on the recovery will send it down, and no doubt a potential shot attempt going for the side walls. We'll still get to Rosie. Now Rosie looking for the cross, and just off the head.
Great intercept, great denial there. I think that was from Zux. Prevented that cross from happening. That was going to be most likely another goal into the hands of Synapse, and we have gone now about a minute and a half with no points scored. So both of these teams vying to get this first point in the books, and it's looking like Redshift are setting up now the cross for Zux. Puts them up 2 points.
All right, so after all that battling, a minute and 39 seconds, we got our first goal there. Put in by Zux. And Rock's in the chat saying people usually set up scrims by sets, 2 to 4 sets. So, but is it like by different? So you do like 1 or 2 sets with one team, and then they go on to the next. Is that the idea? Because, yeah, that's a little bit different than what we're used to. But I think it kind of makes sense almost because before, where it was a lot of just the same teams at the top scrimming each other. Now there's so much variety of teams to choose from. It almost makes sense that you want to get in as many games against all the variety of great teams there are these days.
I think the VRML ad says over 150 teams. Rosie Hope here off of the back of a great stack scores a nice 3-pointer, and you want to talk about an answer back. Dude, that could be a rap. Put me in. I could be a rhymer here.
Yes, in old rap stars, they call them. Indeed. But Rosie, a beautiful 3 from that bottom angle. No hesitation, full confidence, got it in. There's the 3 points from Synapse. And like we said, or I was saying earlier, it's kind of funny how you have these spurts where there's just no scoring for a while, and then finally when that first goal goes in, the next one comes through a lot more easy and quickly.
Brawling here in the midfield, Synapse getting it into the zone of Redshift. That's going to be a shot onto an open goal. Chrome with a nice 23-meter shot for Synapse, piling on to a lead now 4 points. Still plenty of time for Redshift to work with, 6.5 on the clock, and I don't think they're going to go down without a fight here. They have not been low on points scored in any of these rounds.
Well, that was a great shot from Chrome. So 2 3-point shots in a row for Synapse. Maybe make it 4. Rosie looking for the avenues and now getting cut off at the goal, but still the defense not able to get back too timely. So it's going to be a numbers opportunity. The cross, but diving out. See Jason reading that one like a book. But there's .com in the back now having it stolen.
That's going to be an open goal here. .com was just in center. The stack not as fast as Synapse does go into the hands of Supreme. He tries to shoot the lower corner, and just like that, threads the needle. A great 3-pointer for Redshift. It's only a 1-point lead now for Synapse.
I didn't think that was going in. First, I thought it was just an attempted maybe alley-oop. But no, getting that perfect spot there, painting the bottom. Super impressive. Yeah, right back at him, like a round 2. Same kind of case where Synapse, got some points up, got those 3s, but Redshift has not let off at any point in this match.
Synapse hasn't let off either. Another attempted shot on goal. He was going for the setup. See Jason trying to predict what looked like was going to be another cross. But with an open goal there, Andy takes the opportunity to put on a few more points.
These are the things that I can't keep. I know I shout it from the rooftop so many times, but it's where it makes it difficult. The pros make the difficult look easy. Same thing there, okay? So through the shot fake, or the pass fake rather, that was the intention. But Abel As, hold on, maybe Zuck's collecting the disc, so hold my thought. It's going to be a shot to the dunk. Zuck's to Jiggy, getting that loose. Very nice. Finish my thought real quick, though. Just the ability to actually recognize that he juked the goalkeeper while he still had another defender in his face,
right,
and still found the lane for the shot. Like, those are three or four different things happening in the head at once to actually make that play work like that. And most players cannot do that, at least not without a ton of skill and experience.
Yeah, a lot of practice with your team, too. You know how they like to play. You know that pass fake is going to come in, obviously communicating that, too. And great bit of teamwork there to secure a few more points. Also a great cross there out of Redshift to put on another 2 points back into their hands. And here Synapse are going to be setting up again. The intercept just goes wide and out of goal here for C. Jason. Grabs disc, tries to clear, doesn't get quite as favorable a bounce as he's looking for, but the Zuck's Jiggy combo is there to snag it, and here comes, ooh, the clear.com is there to intercept, though, and Synapse keep momentum inside Redshift's zone.
And just trying to back it out here and get control back. I've been impressed with C. Jason as well. He's had, on some of these passes, these long crosses coming in from Synapse. He's done a nice job right on cue. He's done a nice job diving on these long passes. He did it again. That's the third or fourth time I've seen it just in the last few minutes. So excellent job by C. Jason. That said, reclaiming the disc with a 2-point lead still and 3 minutes left. It's Synapse now. From the back, it's .com.
A lot of passing work here, and they're just buying time. They're just ticking away at this clock. They have the lead. They can afford to do so and really look for those open goals. They don't find it yet, and it's going to be what could be an open shot here for Redshift. Just like that, they're in the lead, and now Synapse have to battle back.
Big hit there, finally able to convert off that defense. See Jason definitely leading the way inside the goal. Of course, defense, team-wide thing, but just his ability and recognition on when to dive was really bothering some of those longer mid-range and long passes that were going into the bubble. So I think that's what Synapse needs to kind of close in on here in this one, and maybe go for some shorter range passes, or just try to play that slow game that we often see that brings success here.
It looks like they're going to have an opportunity to set up for it at the very least, as Synapse does get into the zone of Redshift. They have disc in hand. Here comes the cross pass. No, shot on goal on the back end goes wide. Was looking like an attempted setup. Doesn't quite follow through. An odd bit of disc management on the back end there. Doesn't work out for, interesting. Oh, okay, the back pass. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Why Synapse clears into their zone, but there was some defense that had managed to stack their way down. And a minute 42 on clock, plenty of time for Synapse to work with.
Well, Chrome is trying to work it through, looking for all the angles. Very narrow margins they're dealing with here. Diving out, see Jason again, playing some phenomenal defense now inside that goal. Assured to say, it's no mistake. Those dives have been so timely, really denying Synapse every opportunity the last several minutes now.
I think he's 4 for 5 on these dives now. You know, you saw that one dive end in a goal, but all of these other ones have been so successful, stunning the attempted offender, preventing that shot from even coming out, and he's been doing a great job being aggressive on goal, really shutting down Synapse's attempts to cross up and set up onto this shot here as they do continue to apply pressure into the zone of Redshift. Here is the setup again. The shot doesn't get intercepted. There's the three-pointer from Andy.
That was Andy, that was sweet as candy, and they find themselves at the lead. Synapse with a big shot, and finally getting across to go through, and not even the traditional one that we're looking for, as we do actually get a restart here. So looks like Andy made the shot and then disconnected, so will be a timeout, it would seem. But
he was so excited he just quit.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that was again, Synapse making I suppose an adjustment. Like, it was a risk, but at the same time, all these other typical Synapse, cross-to-cross plays was being cut off so very well by Redshift that they almost had to get a little bit unconventional for Synapse to adjust and just find a way to somehow get a goal.
Yeah, it really seemed like Redshift had caught on to the setup that Synapse was doing, right? Jason doing a great job denying all of those attempts. And, I mean, the three had worked before. I think they had done that. no, that actually happened against them in the round earlier. But I mean, a great way to take what works against you and fire it off against the enemy team. Whew, that was a nice bit of shooting there to get them a 2-point lead now. This is Redshift. They have to score. And even if they do, we're still potentially going to OT.
Yeah. Absolutely. For Synapse, it will just come down to kind of hunkering down on the defensive end there. And, yeah, worst case, have it be an OT. Obviously, you don't want them to score, period. But main thing is be very, very careful about that positioning, not getting someone getting lost in a brawl or a stack getting way too broken up where they can't recover into the goal in time. Because, yeah, if there's a turnover at any point, I mean, that 3 would be incredibly devastating for Synapse. So worst case, make sure you're in a position where you can defend that goal and just force them into a 2.
So, I mean, what do you do then? Man on man? Or you just guard your goalie, prevent the brawler from stopping him from shutting down a shot? You know, what do you think is the best approach? Because I've seen what seems like man-on-man defense out of Redshift. It seems that they're very aggressive at attacking each offensive push out of Synapse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's gonna depend. I can't really. Different teams will handle it different ways. If you're a team like Joker, for instance, I would be very weary if you're basically if this was like a Joker-like team. And quite frankly, Redshift, they have some players who are capable of similar things. Basically, worry about the barrier, covering that. If they manage on Redshift to get it into the blue zone, make sure you have at least a couple defenders near that barrier, near that nest, because those are the spots that people will love to go for the anchor shots from and try and get a 3 on goalie. So very, very much you need to be aware of that. Otherwise, I mean, if they try and take an anchor from anywhere else, I mean, the shoulder, the floor, a lot tougher of an angle to hit from. So I think you got to be aware of that. But, you know, for otherwise, whether you do play man or a little bit of zone, the main thing is that you don't press so hard into an offensive player that they are able to get like a stun or a clear and then stun you out, basically leaving the numbers thinner inside the bubble. So pressure, but don't get caught.
The ever intricate balance of competitive Echo Arena. It's always fun to think about and dive into, especially with the expert opinion of you, Palidore. And now we'll see exactly what Redshift are going to do on their offensive attempt here, what they have planned over this. Here's the blitz. It does deny the pass up here, but it's not quite cleared. Still in the hands of Redshift. 30 seconds now on the clock. The aggressive stack from Synapse is applying the pressure here, and it's forcing Redshift to keep the disc in the midfield. Tried to clear it up, tried to push it forward, doesn't go into Redshift's hands. Now all Synapse have to do is play a game of catch, and they've secured themselves a series.
All right, so time winding down. Definitely as Redshift retains here, 14 seconds, 13. Definitely just have one person at least in the goal, but the defense here for Synapse needs to get back in a hurry if they can. Do not let them go for the barrier. Do not let them go for the nest. A great steal from Andy, though. Well, now you know the rest. It's a game, set, match. Synapse clawing their way through this one. Redshift, super impressive showing, though.
They came to play. The Synapse team was already loose. They'd already played a series. Redshift challenged them right out the gate with that round 1 W. And then Synapse sort of stepped up a little bit. And it was still really close, rounds 2 and 3. But, wow, what a great set.
Oh, yeah. That ending there from Synapse and Andy. Like the pre-show card of his says, Andy'll treble you. He will. He did. That steal to secure it and the clear, to put them in the clear, a great way to get it done. Yeah, W for the W indeed, and his team here. 13 points for Andy, 4 assists, 33 stuns, leading that charge. Chrome as well, both Chrome and Rosie, in fact. Look at that, 9 apiece, a couple of assists between them. Chrome with 3 saves, 37 stuns. Yeah, .com, the 5 saves, 30 stuns. Then over on Redshift's side, it was 10 points for Supreme Buns, leading the offense, but 7 for Zux, 4 for Jiggy, C. Jason with 5. I mean, everyone really on both sides putting in some very good scoring efforts here.
An excellent, I mean, again, a excellent series. And yeah, I mean, look at the possession time here, 50-50 from both sides. Shots taken, 50-50. I mean, that's exactly how this series played out. It was so back and forth. One team scored, the other answered back. Leads never got more than 6 points, and great work on both squads today. That was fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it was going to be going into that a question. I saw the chat pointed out too, just aptly on, you know, how do you come back from already an exhausting three-round series, and a roster substitution as well. You know, integrating that into the mix and kind of adjusting the game plan as we saw. First round, it was definitely a case of that adjustment, trying to not that these four haven't scrimmed together plenty before. They have, absolutely. But just in the middle of a game time scenario where you're playing a double header here on this evening for VRML, there's still going to be a little bit of adjustments. And as the match went on, they adjusted. They started finding those crosses. They started finding just the stacks with more efficiency in the latter rounds. Of course, for Redshift, they adjusted too. I can't give enough compliments to how smartly played their defense was, especially in that third. They started adjusting to those cross passes that we saw from Synapse. It was Jason with just 1,000,001 dives to really deny a lot of them. So there were adjustments on both ends of the floor, but just went the way of Synapse in the end, and resulted in, like you said, Knight, a very fun series yet again on stream today. So with that said, I will want to give a quick shout out, of course, to our great sponsors in ProTube VR, VR Cover, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming, and VRware. And as you saw on the instant replays, Oculus venues, of course, every Sunday. Don't you forget, stay tuned for those. And as I always mention and have been mentioning throughout the weeks, if you like those events, you want to see more of those and more of those opportunities, show up, you know, download it. If you have a Oculus Quest or a Go or Gear VR, you can go download that, visit the venues events every weekend, every Sunday for the rest of the season in Echo Arena, as well as Onward on Saturdays for some of these weeks throughout the rest of their season. Yep. And yeah, if you like those opportunities, like I said, show up, tweet it, like it, retweet, all that good stuff. It does, in fact, matter. Believe it or not, it does. So engage, and we'll see you there. But NightFiree, anything else you want to leave off with?
Also follow the Twitter, the VR Master League Twitter. There's a couple of them. There's the main VR Master League, and then there's also Echo Arena VRML, Onward VRML. It's a great place to go if you want to find out, you know, when games are going live. Just sort of be updated on any news that comes out from the league. Yeah, it's going to be it's a good source of information. All
right. Well, other good sources of information. Our great league moderators. I want to shout them out real quick, too, since we're kind of closing down for the night. Wit, Nada, Sneaky Evil, who we saw there in the chat a fair bit throughout the night. Princess, who I think is on semi-vacation, but, you know, cheers there. Alacost, Gilligan, Echo Zero, and Dano McFabulous, who also had his first cast of Season 2 yesterday, so shout out to him. Other than that, it's been fun. We will have another stream in a while, about 45 minutes or so. Between Pie and Team Salty. All right.
I like to call that Palidore After Dark.
Yes. Palidore After Dark.
Yeah, he'll cast like this.
I think that'd be infringing on Dimwee's gimmick. He's been doing that in his midnight podcasts. You know, they're really chill. You know, almost ASMR type thing.
Right.
Yeah, but we'll have that again in about 45 minutes from now to mostly close out the night, and then, depending on how awake I am, maybe at 1:30 a.m. my time, we'll have Breach and Clear Leviathan. We'll see. We'll see.
He's crazed, people. He's crazed.
I mean, they know. But until then, guys, I've been Palidore. That's been NightFiree. This has been VRML Season 2, Week 4. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have been great. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and be good to each other. And we'll see you again really soon.
Bye.